Well, all right, y'all. All across the USC, Compton, Watts, Bay to LA, Pomona, California, from valley to valley, we represent that killer Cali. So if you keeping it real on your side of your town, you tune in to Gangster Chronicles.
Gangster Chronicles, we gon' tell you how it goes.
If I lie, my nose will grow like Pinocchio. We gon' tell you the truth and nothing but the truth.
Gangster Chronicles, this is not your average show.
You're now tuned into the real MC8, Big James, and Big Steel.
This is strictly from the streets.
Hello.
We represent the J's.
That's what I do dislike about gang members who do not have heart enough to stand up against the system like they stand up against their own people.
Right. Well, oftentimes, what I do see a lot of time, man, there's a lot of self-hatred just amongst black people, period. Not just the gangbangers, right? Because you look, you will see brothers start to elevate and climb, and they climb. It's like you climbing a fence. And James, the way James described it one time was perfect because he said it's like you crawling over a fence and you got a million motherfuckers grabbing at your ankles to pull you back down, right? I think it's a lot of that. We see things that happen in the community, we bypass that, but yet we go slap the shit out of this brother over here that's not bothering nobody. And I think a lot of that stuff, man, was programmed in us. I believe the Willie Lynch letter, all that stuff is very real, man. I think a lot of stuff is just strategically in place now to destroy the black community. I really believe that. If you look at it, if you look at some of the stuff that's going on, even with the way gangbanging is set up in itself, you know what I mean? It's like you look at the Nickerson Gardens, right? You have a place of poverty, right? It's poverty all through there. Don't nobody got nothing. So the one person that does get something, whether that's legal or illegal, whether that it could be a brother just going down to the docks and getting a job on the docks, you know what I mean?
Right.
You have a million motherfuckers mad at him because he went and got that. How dare he try to progress? And now he talking about now his kids going to school saying, yeah, we about to move out of here. The other little kids hear that stuff and be like, how dare they leave the situation that they in? What do you think about that, bro?
Well, I think about this, my brother. I believe that misery love company, my brother, and it even says it in the Bible, my brother. When people go to hell, they go to the lake of fire, they're going to be cussing each other out in the name of Satan because they're going to be so tormented to where your pain is going to be hurting you so much to where you be taking it out on your neighbors in hell, So I understand what that dialogue means right there, my brother. That means that people don't like suffering by themselves. And when you come from a poverty area like that, and it remind me of a song when I was a little boy back in the days. The Temptations sung a song, don't let the Jones get you down. You know what I'm saying? If you see something you want and you can't afford it, you know what I'm saying? The best thing you do is go work for it. Don't be jealous of your neighbor because they got a new Cadillac. Go buy you a Cadillac. You know what I'm saying? Save up your money and get you something, And if you can't do that, you know what I'm saying? Find something constructive to do where you don't have to be focusing on materialistic things.
Exactly. And speaking on that, I got to give a shout out to my boy, Anthony Tiffin, Dude Dog from the Nickerson Gardens, Startup Top Dog Entertainment. Okay. He is one of the first entertainers I've seen actually do everything right that comes from the gang life. You don't see him out there, he ain't went and did no negative stuff. He ain't went and got 20 or 30 homies from the Nickersons and just take out there and let them terrorize people. That ain't what he did. He brings a concert there every year. He employs people. You know what I mean?
I understand.
He brings something positive. He gives back to the community in a positive manner. He's not one person. He can't help everybody. But I do see him do some amazing stuff over there. And you got some people that leave and just never come back. Why do you think that is?
Man, that's kind of heavy, my brother. Leave and never come back. Where do they leave to, my brother?
Just cats that, theoretically escape and make it out of there. Like it made them, to escape out of there. It may be you as simply as moving to the Inland Empire. You may have got a good job and just left and went to the Inland Empire and said, I ain't never going back around there no more.
brother, you're talking about me. I'm that man. I'm that man who only go to Nickerson Gardens average once a year, or twice a year. Every 6 months or once a year. And I want to tell you why, my brother. I love them brothers over there. There's a lot of brothers over there I love. I got love for Loaf, Renzi. I got love from them Lock Boys also. Wee Wee. I love them brothers. You know what I'm saying? I love Snoop. I love them brothers. Those are my second generation brothers, and they growing up over there still. They've been there since the 60s and the 70s. And it's something about the love that I have for them, brother. I understand that it's not easy for everybody to make transitions from out the project, coming straight from prison. You got to have money, man, to live in a nice neighborhood. And I was just blessed enough to know a church foundation that gave me and my wife their credit to rent a house. I didn't have no credit when I came home. I didn't have nothing. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, you know what I'm saying, I was living with family members. Now I have something that I have my family in, and that is something that I really value. I value that. Guess what? It's like returning to slavery in a sense. Slavery is poverty. That's another sense of poverty, and that's where they want to keep us at, in a slave-like state of eating pork and throwing the guts to the slaves, and we eating their leftovers. That's how they treat us in that sense right today. They don't give us the best food in our community. You see a liquor store and McDonald's everywhere, but do you see Farmer John's or whatever them places that grow that organic food? You don't see that in Watts and Compton. So they don't have our best interest, brother. So what we have to do is put our money together, brother, and start our own organic food supply, because they're not going to give it to us in their neighborhood. They're going to put it in their own community. Now, the thing about an individual leaving the neighborhood and not wanting to come back, the only way I can see that, if you truly make a 100, I'm talking about 100% change in your mind and heart, to the point to where some things that you do in life and some places that you have been in life, in your mind, it can be disgusting. In other words, it can be tormented to you to the point to where you want to never see that again. You don't want to even come in contact with that no more. It's just like a female being raped. You get so tormented to where now you don't even want to go down Imperial Highway through Watts. You don't even want to go down the 105 because it brings back bad memories. And and here it is now. You live in a luxury life to the point to where you want to leave all that behind you. And that's what I call keeping the line moving. So you can't be mad at a brother because he don't want to return to poverty.
Oh, no, never. Because I left the east side of Cleveland, Ohio, and ain't went back.
Amen.
Ain't never went back.
Amen.
Because it's poverty. It's a lot of poverty. It's depression. You see homeboys that you come up with, they get hooked on that dope, or either they go to, prison, just getting out of prison. It's just like a revolving door almost up there. You know what I mean? You see a brother.
I understand.
You
that
go
was
back
me
home,
also, brother. That was me also.
You go back to the crib and you say, well, man, I ain't missed shit because this dude right here, he was just out when I came back and now he back in there. It's a revolving door, and that takes me back to my point, man. I believe a lot of this stuff is designed for it to happen that way, and I believe they didn't have to do that hard of a job, because I think we are our own worst enemies a lot of times.
Yes, it is. I just paroled 14 years ago from California Men's College, and I was down there with my partner named Marcellus Robinson from Compton. And, that's my boy right there, CC Ryder. That's my loved one right there. Just talked to him over the phone. Melly Mel hooked us up together, and I got love for that brother, and what we have to understand, my brother, is that some things can be very tormented, my brother. It will be just like they got some brothers that hate prison so much they rather die on the streets than to go back to prison. They would tell you, I'm holding court in the streets, and I can understand that mentality, because it's pain and suffering. To live through that is suffering, my brother. It takes a very strong individual, man, to do 40 years, to do 45 years, like my boy LB. It takes a lot, man, to do that. We all can't do that, my brother, and you won't really know until you up against that grind, because everybody can say, yeah, that ain't nothing. I ain't gonna kill myself. But there's a lot of brothers that have killed themselves. I'm not gonna go to the names right now, but we also know that a lot of strong brothers have committed suicide up in them joints because they can't get away from the torment. And the torment is this is me. This is my personal belief. I think we fight ourselves sometimes. We fight our own demons and we lose. The voices that go through your head. You'll never be nothing. You'll always be in the ghetto. When you go home, nobody don't love you. You coming back again. All these things. Your mother died and you wasn't even there for the funeral. You know what I'm saying? Your son died and you weren't even there for the funeral. That's the voice of demons, brother, are trying to get you to commit suicide. And believe it or not, I'm going to say it because it's 100. You got to watch what some of your homeboys tell you also. Because they can also be demonic. They can mislead you to get killed. They can mislead you to get destroyed. You know what I'm saying? That goes also in the realm of human beings, not just Satan. You know, you got some people out on these streets that take a form of Satan. And you just don't see it.
Exactly, because I tell you this, and this is how I was raised. I've never been a man for gossip, right? If I'm riding down the street and I see your wife in the car with another man, I'm not gonna jump on the phone and tell you, hey, Frog, I just saw your old lady out here with some nigga that's messy. I don't know who that man was.
Okay.
I don't know who that was. That could have been her daddy. She could have been with her brother. She could have been with her uncle. I don't know what place you in mentally. You may be already having some stuff with your old lady and she come home. Next thing you know, you in prison for doing something to your old lady for a misunderstanding for some stuff that was gossip, right? And I'm gonna tell you, the devil lives out there, and the devil does manifest itself in homies and this and that, because you will have some homeboys that call you about your business that they don't know nothing about, telling you about what's going on with this, and the third, and then now you got a big menagerie going on, a bunch of mess. So it is a spiritual condition. It's a condition of the spirit, man.
Let me tell you about real love, my brother. I can remember when I was in Solidarity and we got ready to take off on the white boys, the Bloods and the Crips, you know, and we was in F Wing. I already told this story twice, and I'm just going to elaborate on this. I had a homeboy. He was there with me. His name was Silky Blood. He was not even in the wing that we was in. He popped up in there just to holler at me to see what was going on. And the first thing I told him, get out of here. It's finna go down. I don't want you up in there because you're not going to get away. You're out of bounds. So I'm letting you know right now, for your safety and for you to stay on the main line, leave. That was out of love, because you have some guy was called him and say he's a coward for not staying. See, he don't have his best interest in hand. You know, some things, brother, you can handle on yourself, and you ain't got to take nobody down with you every time. And that's what real love is about, brother, is wanting somebody to at least escape out of the madness. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we have it all twisted, brother. You know what I'm saying? We need to be happy to see a brother get up and get out the ghetto. We should be happy to see a brother, you know, change his life for the better. Just like Pot say, I ain't mad at you. Why should you be mad at an individual that's doing better? You know what I'm saying? If anything, you know what I'm saying, find out how that he got to that plateau. What did he do to rise up to that level, instead of sitting back plotting on you finna break in his house and steal everything, or you finna burn his car up because he has a Mercedes-Benz and you don't have one.
They got to
find out the formula. Find out the formula.
They can come in my house and break in the motherfucking. You might come through the front door, but you won't go back out that way, because you gonna get popped on when you first come through.
Man.
James said they coming in vertical, leaving horizontal.
Hey.
And I got love for everything and everybody, but if it's that's the way it gotta go, that's the way it gotta go. Some things you don't forget.
You know, this one of those things too, man, where I wish we, you know, the show an hour long, we already over that, but I want to have you come back, man, because I don't feel like this story is finished. Can we do that?
Well,
yeah, I'm gonna take care of him. He got to come back.
Yeah.
And this is what I want everybody to know. Me and Norm and our purpose is to show that everybody. I listen to everybody, but I'm like this. We all got a choice. And when you standing in that moment and you in the heat of it and you feel like you got to do something, look at who's around you and make that choice. If he gonna go to jail with me, fuck it, let's do it. If he ain't gonna run out on me, fuck it, let's do it. Let's get at these cats. But everybody got a choice, and we made a lot of choices. We are lucky to be here.
Very blessed.
And we made a lot of fucked up choices. We made a lot of choices that wasn't right. But for all of these little young cats out here, we have a choice. And that's the bottom line. Well, our choices is, man, we're gonna grow up and be grown men and raise our grandkids. You know, and for those brothers that, oh, he done turned into a woman, he raising kids. Man, I'm proud to be a grandfather. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of us brothers. I got a lot of homies that didn't even have one kid. I got some OGs that don't have no kids, never been married. All we know is prison and death. So if we can get away from that, we'll be all right.